We give all the praise, all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, I'm going to be in Revelation 13, and I'm going to start at the top. It says, And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right. So the 7 heads, the 7-headed dragon represents the 7 kingdoms of Esau that would rule. Included are Germania Major, Major and Minor, Rome, Greece, America, and I need to do more study because it's slipping my mind. I can't remember the other 2 heads, and shame on me. But this is why we're diligent. We have to go over these scriptures, daily and be diligent, so we don't forget the verses and the breakdowns. All right, through the Spirit, it'll come back. But for the meantime, I'm going to keep going in verse 2. It says, The beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and authority. All right. So that leopard, I know that represents Alexander the Greek, right? Because if you go into history, when Alexander the Greek was in battles, he would wear leopard skin. He would wear that was his apparel. That was his raiment. Okay. So let's go jump down to verse 3. It says, And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Okay. So the deadly wound that happened was Rome. When Rome fell, the Roman Empire, that was when the beast was wounded. All right. Then the wound healed. Because remember, after the Roman Empire, you had what they call the Dark Ages. And that's when the Israelites were actually ruling in Europe, calling themselves Moors, among other things. Okay. But dark men were ruling, dark-skinned men were ruling in Europe and throughout the ancient world. The Israelites were ruling during what they call the Dark Ages. Okay. And this is when Esau was set up in the Caucasus Mountains. That's when he was calling himself a Caucasian. That's when he started calling himself a Caucasian. All right. But the wound that was healed was Rome during the Renaissance. Basically, the Edomites rose up into power again. All right. Because you can go into, is it Malachi? Let's see real quick. Let me, if I remember it right. It says right here, whereas Edom saith, Malachi 1 and 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Because, like I said, Rome fell, the Edomites fell out of power, and but they came back through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They gave them the power to conquer the ancient world. Let me see something real quick. Let me see. So let me see where I'm at. Thus they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So this is, the Roman Empire fell, and then this is that wound that was healed. Was they call it, the Edomites? They call it in history the time of the Renaissance. Okay. So the word Renaissance, it means rebirth. Let me see. And like, if I just looked up Renaissance, and this is what it says. It refers to a period in European civilization that was marked by a revival of classic learning and wisdom. The Renaissance saw many contributions to different fields, including new scientific laws, new forms of art and architecture, and new religious and political ideas. Right, so the Renaissance time, right? This is the time when the Edomites created what you call Jesus now, right? That's a Renaissance idol. The man that they call Jesus Christ, he was set up during the time of the Renaissance. Okay, that's when they started doing the iconoclasm and whitewashing all the paintings and pictures in ancient Europe, right? Because like I said, we were ruling during the Dark Ages, and we had our images up, but then you had Esau Edom when he had that revival, the Renaissance. That's that wound being healed. That's Rome being healed because they came back into power. That's why they call it European civilization. And we're going to go back to Revelation 13. And it says in verse 4, and they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? All right. And this goes into all the nations, because you have to understand, the Edomites were basically controlling the ancient world at this time. And everybody was, just like now, Esau Edom, he's been in power since the rebirth, since the Renaissance. He's came back into his dominion, because as it tells you in Job 9 and 24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the earth's been given into the hand of the wicked. And we read in Malachi 1 and 4, Esau Edom is the wicked. Okay. So we go to Revelation 13 and 4. It says, who is able to make war with him? And that's how these nations feel right now. Well, now that we're in the last days, the heathen has made them, he's become weak among the heathen. So, because it's a level playing field, because now, I think I Googled it last week, there's like 9 nations on the planet Earth who have nuclear capability. But during this time, it was like, who can make war with these Edomites? Who can make war with the beast, right? Let's go to Revelation 13 and 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Right, so the so-called white man, he speaks all the blasphemy, right? He teaches you the names wrong. He teaches you the scriptures wrong. And that's all blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. He lies about the truth. He never told you he was the wicked in history, here in Babylon, America. He never told you that he was the wicked one. Verse 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. So there it is. He blasphemes Yahweh. He blasphemes the name. He calls God God. He doesn't use the true name. Revelation's telling us right here. He blasphemes his tabernacle, which are his church, his men, and them that dwell in heaven. And the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, dwell in heaven, and who's blaspheming them? It's the so-called white man. He set himself up, like it tells you in 2 Thessalonians. He set himself up to be God. He set himself up to be the Son of God. Right? Verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So we just read that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who rules over the planet Earth? It's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He rules in wickedness, and he's in power over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. Okay? You have one way you can tell that, we always bring it out, is the national, or not the international language for the airlines. Anybody who wants, every pilot, it's actually a law that any pilot from any nation has to know English. Because why? That the so-called white man is the power, the dominion on the earth. So if you can look into that, every single pilot, if you're a pilot and you're in a foreign nation outside of America, Babylon, you are required to know the English language. It's not Chinese that they're required to learn. It's not, Arabic that they're required to learn. It's not Spanish they're required to learn. No, it's English. Because why? Because this is that that dragon, that beast that's given power over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Right. The book of life is the Bible. The Lamb is Yahushai. And, everybody who's outside of the remnant, outside of the elect, if they're not into some other false idols or false religions, they're worshiping these what they call God and Jesus, in the pagan Christianity, right? That's why you got so many people into those names. Our people, man, I had a dude on TikTok today arguing with me about he wanted to represent Jesus. You try to give the Israelites the true names, and they come up against you. Because why? They've been given into the hands of the wicked. The Lord has given them slow mind, and they can't realize or understand when they hear the truth. They reject it. That's why in verse 9 it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. And the only ones that are going to have an ear are going to be the elect. All right? Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right? So who led us into captivity? It was so-called white men. Right? He's colonialized the Hispanic, Latinos, Native Americans, and then he brought over the Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes, the so-called blacks. He brought them on slave ships, put them into captivity. We're all still in captivity. So this, because he's done this, he's killed with the sword, or he's killed us with the sword, which is his blessing. This is why we are going to, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he's going to kill him with the sword. He's going to take that sword. Let's get that real quick. Matthew 10 and 34. This is Yahushai speaking. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So Yahushai is going to take the sword from Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, because he's going to make war with him, and he's going to put that sword on him. Him and the angels, the chariots in the heavens, are going to war with the beast. And anybody who gets down with the beast is going to get taken down right along with him. Revelation 13 and 11, it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, so the two horns, that represents their, here in Babylon, America, it's representing the Democratic and the Republican Party. All right, and he spake as a dragon. Right, because he's going to come out with those draconian laws on the people, on the citizens of Babylon. He's going to enforce pretty soon his micro CHIP. All right, and it's going to be mandatory sooner than we think. Verse 11. Or I'm sorry, 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Right, because this is the Roman Empire all over again. All right. That's why you look around all these restaurants. They have like Roman symbolism, like you know, basically America is Rome all over again. That's why you sit there on Sundays and you watch the NFL football in the Coliseums, right? And all the different stadiums. Those stadiums go back to Rome, all right? The gladiators, they call football players gladiators. Those gladiators go back to Rome, all right? And all of the symbolism, all the restaurants, have Roman symbolism, and for those who have eyes to see, you can see it, all right? I'm not going to get too deep into that because that's not this lesson. But America is an extension of the Roman Empire, okay? It's basically the Roman Empire all over again. To take it a step further, even Donald Trump, we believe through the Spirit that that's Nero, who's come back through, because we're all reincarnated, regenerated, contrary to popular belief, contrary to the pagan Christian doctrine, right? There is reincarnation is a real thing. Trump is probably more than likely he's Nero, which Nero was the last ruler of Rome, all right? And there's a ton of similarities. Again, this is not the lesson, but there's a ton of similarities between Nero and Donald Trump, all right? Look into that. You can Google similarities between Nero and Trump, and I'm pretty sure the internet will expose that, all right? Verse 13, and he that doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. All right, dealing with his missiles, all right, his nuclear missiles. 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And some of his wonders are his technology, right? His miracles are his technology, all right? Even like the Neuralink that's just been passed by the FDA. They're doing human trials with Neuralink, which Neuralink is basically the forehead chip, the microchip that they put in the forehead, which is technology owned by Elon Musk, okay? So let's read 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast could both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right. Because when he mandates with his new draconian laws that he's bringing out, and I'm telling you, we're about to read it, that micro C hip, that grain of rice that he wants to put in your hand, if you don't take that, you don't worship the image of the beast, he's gonna put you to death, right? Let's get Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept, this is Yahushua speaking to the elect, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, and try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? So, Yahushua is telling us right there the hour of temptation. What the hour of temptation is going to be once Esau Edom, the beast system, mandates the micro C hip and makes it mandatory. Everybody's going to be placed in that trial where they're going to have the chance to either take that micro C hip, because it's going to be passed through legislation. It's going to be passed as mandatory law that you either take the chip or you be put to death, or you be put in a FEMA camp. All right? This is what's coming. The prophets are the watchmen. We're telling you, we're warning you, telling you what the so-called white man, the evil, the wicked one of the earth, what his plan is. I'm telling you what it is right now. He that has an ear, let him hear. All right? Let me get this real quick. Well, let's get what is it? 2 Corinthians 2:11 maybe. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Yep. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right. So his devices are what? His devices is that micro C hip. That's his wicked device. Okay. When you go to that word device, that's why it's got that. It's a prefix the same as devil, because it's a wicked device. Just same type of prefix in that word. All right. The root word device, devil. They're wicked, both wicked, right? But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we know that he's only going to get that micro C hip implanted into 2/3 of our people. 2/3 of the Israelites will take it. The majority of the heathen are going to take that shit, man, because they ain't got no hope anyway. They ain't got no salvation. But 2/3 of our people are going to succumb to the beast system, and they're going to take that micro C hip, and they're going to perish because of their wickedness. Because they're basically, when you take that injection, when you take that grain of rice in your hand or in your forehead, you basically made an allegiance to Satan, to the devil, to the so-called white man. You pledged your allegiance to him. You belong to him at that point. Even if you're an Israelite, you're going to be put to death. And if you're an Israelite and you take that thing, you'll be all right in the kingdom. So good riddance. All right. Job 5:12. So, like I said, he's gonna succeed with 2/3 of our own people, and the majority of the heathen are gonna take it. But Yahweh Bashem Yashai is gonna keep the remnant. The elect are gonna have that spirit, like we read in Revelation 3:10, that hour of temptation. We're not gonna fold in that hour of temptation. We're gonna have the spirit to be put to death, or we're gonna get our asses thrown in a FEMA camp or prison. That's okay, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai can perform miracles, and even if you go into prison, he can cause an earthquake, and you'll be released out of that prison. He's done it in the past. There's accounts of that happening in the scriptures. All right, Job 5:12, it says, "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise." All right, so you're gonna have. That's what he's going to do with this enterprise, okay? The enterprise of the so-called white man. I'm trying to C-hip everybody. He's not going to perform it on everybody. Only the ones that are meant to take that grain of rice in their hand or in their forehead. And the word enterprise, check this out. This is what it means. It's a project or undertaking, typically one that is difficult or requires effort. Right, it's going to be a tough exercise. It's going to be a tough project for this so-called white man to micro C-hip everybody. You see? But you remember when George Bush Sr., you can Google it or YouTube it, where he says, he talks about the New World Order, and he goes, when we present our New World Order, we will be successful, and we will be. He says something to that effect, to that nature. And, he's talking about this. He's talking about his micro C-hip plans, his enterprise. Because they know it's going to be difficult and require effort. But these devils are so wicked, this is what they're going to do. They're going to try and put a C-hip on everybody. And we know that it's written, 2/3 of our own people will take that thing. And they're going to perish because of their decision to take that. Because you're basically giving Yahweh Hashem Yahushai the middle finger when you take that C-hip. All right, at that point, you belong to the so-called white man, the wicked of the Bible, and you ain't a part of this thing of ours. You ain't a part of this truth. You ain't a part of the elect. You ain't a part of the remnant if you take that thing. All right. So Revelation 13:16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." And that's what I've been talking about. The mark is it's going to either be in your right hand or in your forehead. All right. They have the Neuralink. Elon Musk owns that. and you have the C hip that's going to go in your hand, right? And that's that's the technology that they have. This stuff is already manifested through technology. All right. The word mark, when you go into that word in Greek, it's charagma. And charagma, what it means is an etching in the skin. Okay. So it's plain to see what that is. We know what the mark of the beast is. We know it's the micro C hip. All right. And again, you take that thing, you just signed a soul contract with Esau Edom, the so called white man, just like these celebrities. All right. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. And all you got to do is look articles up on this stuff, this micro C hip. And this is what their technology, this is what they design it for. So you can only buy or sell if you have that mark, all right, that charagma, all right, or the number of his name, all right. And we know that number, right? We're about to read it, but this is what it is, man. The mark of the beast is the micro C hip. Anybody telling you otherwise is not listening to you. I mean, not listening to you. They're lying to you. They're lies. All right. Look at the time. 441. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. All right. All right. So let's go. Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and that man is that so-called white man. And his number is 666, which is 666, okay? 666, that's his number. That's what, we all know the devil's number. We all know the so-called white man's number. We all know what he's got encrypted, coded in his UPC symbols. Even in his buying system right now, it's 666. If you look at the UPC codes, the first number is a 6, which is it's the UPC code. It's those a UPC code. The first line represents a 6, the middle line represents a 6, and then the last line on all those UPC codes are 666 on the first line, middle line, and last line. So it's nothing new under the sun for this beast, this so-called white man, this serpent, the dragon, the devil, the adversary of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? His number is 666, okay? And even if you look onto the copyright number on the micro C hip, the last numbers are 60606. Do your own research. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. All right, but you can take my word for what I've been telling you through this lesson, that the mark of the beast is the charagma, which is that micro C hip. And this damn devil, he's going to try and put that in everybody. And you take it, hey, you sold your soul to the devil. And you're going to perish in the day, if you make it to the day of nuclear fire. But you are not going to have salvation if you take that micro C hip, all right? If you make an allegiance to that so-called white man and his charagma, all right? So with that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kaha, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect. And I don't be surprised if they take this video down. All right? So, hey, he that have an ear, let him hear. All right? So if it's for you, you're going to listen. You ain't going to take that damn thing. All right? Shalom to the elect.